Hello, and welcome to Afternoon Tea with Karen. Recently, I've been considering either starting a new religion or a cult based on stuff that's already out there.
As it is within, so shall it be without. As without, so shall it be within.
I really wanted to make something that was robust and bigger than me, but I only started thinking I might as well start a religion when Trump stood for election because I thought if you can get elected as a president of the United States, then I can found my own religion.
Creation, an artwork in the form of a queer, insurrectionary, science fiction, climate change religion.
It's full of secrets. We make a bonfire of shame.
It's triumphant, it's jubilant, it's sorrowful, meaningful, incredibly artistic, and heartistic.
To be honest, it was a bit of a joke, a kind of a finger up to the establishment. It has become something completely different and offering, I guess, our idea of a better way.
I feel at home, and I can't say I felt like that sometimes in my actual family or the church when I was younger.
Hold my hand. Hold witness in my hand. Hold my hand.
I really wanted creation to be full of purposeful hysteria and pleasure and poetry and sexiness. It has big feeling. It's alluring, it's glamorous, it's magic, it's witchcraft. Is it activism or is it solace? I do not know.
Yeah, now that seems too hard. And disliking Donald Trump doesn't really seem that spiritually enlightening. Someone that did pique my interest, though, Professor Anne Prattle Gray, who has spent the last 20 academic years decolonizing the Bible. So, two things. If she can decolonize the Bible, then I should be able to change it to suit my cult. And also, it makes me think of what I have in common with the Iron Age when the Bible was written. And one of the things is dreams. People were really into their dreams. When I first met Brian, I had a dream that my dead father was standing at the end of my bed telling me that he had sent Brian to protect me. And I woke up, I'm not sure what for, but anyway, I woke up at the end of my bed and standing up, reaching out to my father. And when I told my family, my brother said he had exactly the same dream, except dad said to him, the book is really important. Anyway, turns out Tim Winton interviewed Brian for this book, and he went on television and said about this book, of all his books, he considered this one to be really important. Not quite biblical, but something in common. Now, changing the Bible to suit my cult. Rather than Genesis be the story of creation, this one's going to be a story about the responsibilities of Adam. God took the person and put him in the Garden of Eden to cultivate and care for it. He gave him one order. You may freely eat from every tree in the garden except from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. You must not eat from that, because on that day you eat from it, it will become certain that you will die. Then he made Adam a woman. The woman had a chat to the serpent. The serpent said, "Did God really say that you're going to die?" Anyway, she had some fruit, and so did Adam. And then they heard God walking in the garden. God said to Adam, "How do you know you are naked? The woman you gave me gave me the bit of fruit, and I ate it." And when God asked her, she said, "The serpent tricked me." And God said, "Yes, serpent did trick you. But Adam, because you listened to what your wife said and ate from the tree of fruit, which I gave you an order not to eat from, you're in the poop." And the lesson for Eve, watch out. The world is full of serpents.
Glad you did, but yeah, I mean that's like a lot to see at a young age, and then like we were saying, you're also going through that phase too, like the angsty, I don't know, teenager years,
Yeah,
something like that.
teenage years
What
are-
was dating like in high school, or boys? Was that a thing?
Yeah, and it's something that I really want to write a second book, because there were so many things that I didn't have room to write about in my first book, and I really wanted to write about. And I think, especially because I think that from the research that I've done, that especially girls who would get this diagnosis of being on the spectrum, it's almost inevitable that you're going to get taken advantage of, because there's something about not being able to read people's intentions that you can kind of more easily walk into situations. And I think that I certainly never learned boundaries. So there were just a lot of things that happened that I would go along with. And
What kinds of things? Because you're in high school. So what kinds of things
Yeah.
would these be?
I mean, I think I would end up hooking up with guys when I didn't necessarily want to, because I don't know, or I would feel like I'm supposed to, or stuff like that. Like there was nobody. I ended up always wishing that I had an older brother who would sort of look out for me and scrutinize my dates and be like, where is this guy taking you? And I just sort of felt like nobody was really looking after me in that way. So
Your dad wasn't paying attention to the guys you were dating?
No, I mean, I think because also I wasn't living with my dad. I only went there once or twice a week for dinner or Sunday brunch or something. And so he wasn't around all that much. But I think there was a lot of assuming that I was fine and not really asking. But I remember when I was 15, my boyfriend for a while was, he was 23.
You were dating a 23-year-old at age 15.
All this stuff just seemed normal. Yeah, he was
It seemed normal
he was
to
a
you.
graduate student at Harvard.
You were dating a graduate student at Harvard when you were a freshman in high school.
I was 15, so I might have been a sophomore.
Either way. I mean,
I know. It seems weird now, especially
it's not
when
weird.
I
I mean, that's
now.
a Class A felony in 50 states and Puerto Rico.
Right. He was. It's funny because I'm still we're like Instagram friends. We ended up breaking up. It was like we just decided we were better off friends.
Oh God.
But
Okay. All right. It's clocking to me. It's clocking to me. So. All right. So you're not having trouble getting guys. You're just getting different guys than other people get at this time, and you're getting. So at age 15, you are dating someone who's an adult who, even looking back on it, I don't even know if you possibly could. I mean, I wasn't you, so I can't put myself there, but there could be things that he's instilling in you about what a relationship dynamic is supposed to be like that is not what it's like at all, that then becomes your norm because that's what you know.
Yeah. I mean, I think overall, there was a real, I never learned boundaries. But again, as I say, I got lucky in these various situations because, that guy was like a nice dude. He wasn't, I know it sounds weird, but, and then also when we ended up sort of breaking up, like, I think he certainly, I mean, I remember one time we were going to meet his parents, and he was basically was like, "Oh, you got to tell them you're like a student at Harvard." I was like, "I can't do that. I can't lie and say I'm like a student at Harvard."
This should have
So,
been in the Bad Vegan documentary. I am going to say that they had a real miss on this one. But
and
please continue.
I think because all my siblings were older, and I was friends with all of my sister's friends, that the fact that I was hanging around with him so much
Oh, they knew about it.
didn't seem weird to my parents. Yeah.
Wait, your parents knew you were dating a 23-year-old?
I don't really know what they knew, but I know he came to my 16th birthday dinner at my dad's house.
Oh my God.
I know.
How'd you introduce him? This is my friend in the senior class. Like, don't ask which senior.
I don't know.
Yeah, all too hard. I think I'll just stick with being spiritually enlightened. That'll do. See you later. Bye.